I'm so excited to be here. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege.
Uh, yes, and back at you, sir. And to all of us that get to be with you today, thank you for being on the Pamela Show. Hey, John!
Hello, Pamela. Great to be here. Super excited. How are you doing?
Oh, it is so exciting. Well, everybody, this is John Tallarico. Welcome back to the Pamela Show, where we learn and we grow together. Today, I am so excited to introduce to you a very good friend of mine and someone that I've had the joy of working with in the business world, Jareesha Moore-Smith. She is absolutely amazing. And I just tell you a little bit about her because she is the woman of many hats and she wears them all so beautifully. She is a mom. She was a single mom. She now has an amazing husband, but she knows all of the struggles that a single mom goes through and a single mom going through it, trying to make her way through life. Jareesha is very goal oriented. And so she never stopped. She's just continued to move forward and build the life that she wanted to build for her and her family. Jareesha is an executive director with the John Maxwell team. She has her MBA in business and she is an entrepreneur and runs Envision Broadcasting, radio, podcasting, media, you name it. You are in for a treat today. So, with no further ado, on with the show. Come on. Hello and welcome to the Pamela Show, where we learn and grow together. I am so excited that you are here again. Thank you for tuning in. And you are going to be so blessed, empowered, and encouraged by my incredible guest. Jareesha Moore-Smith is here. Woo! Jareesha, hi! I'm so glad you're here.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. So
We always have fun when we're together, don't we?
we do, we have a blast. So I'm really looking forward to our time together.
Yes, I am as well. And Jareesha, you are an executive director for the John Maxwell team, among all the other hats that I've already spoken about that you wear on a daily basis. It's amazing. So I picked an empowerment scripture from John Maxwell, and it says this: people never care how much you know until they know how much you care. Wow, is that empowering and is so full of wisdom. If we will just get over ourselves, right? Thinking we know so much. And a lot of times, we do. We know a lot. But a person doesn't want you to just come in and preach at them. They want to see your heart. And once they see your heart, then they'll hand you theirs and they'll be willing to listen. But I'm really curious, coming from your position within the John Maxwell team, and just knowing John Maxwell on a more personal basis and his whole enterprise. What does that quote mean to you? How does it resonate?
Absolutely. So this is such a powerful, powerful quote. And as you know, I love, love, love empowerment quotes. And this one really speaks to me because I come from a place where my passion and purpose is all about empowering others. And so, when I think about the fact that, it's all about being a listener and really tuning into what other people are going to say. And so, when we think about some of the different just instances in life, and whether it's business, whether it's our careers, and we all have an opportunity to really show others what that we really care, that we're listening to whatever it may be, whether it's their story, their journey. We have that opportunity to be able to show up, and not just for ourselves but for other people. And so when I hear that quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Because all day long, when it comes down to, having that background, that history, the skills, and being an expert in, the field, as a John Maxwell coach and executive director, it's all about adding value to others. And in order to add that value, we have to be willing to listen. And so I would encourage everyone to commit yourself to listening, being curious, asking questions of those that you're surrounded by. So for me, it truly means just showing that appreciation of someone else. For me, it's all about empowering others for growth and success. And I have opportunities, and we all have opportunities every single day to really listen to someone, listen to their story, listen to their journey. Because honestly, it's when you listen that you learn more about someone, and then asking those questions. So for me, that's what it's all about as the executive director of the John Maxwell team, and just really with my mission and purpose in life. It's about empowering others. And you can't do that if you're not stopping to listen and show how much you care.
Wow, I love that. I love how you pulled in listen.
Mhm.
That is huge, because so many times that is the one thing we don't do. We're hearing, we're not listening, or we're busy trying to think of how we're going to respond. And listening is huge. When you feel that somebody's listening to you, you feel like they care.
Yes.
Wow, I love that. Thank you for that input. And I really value it coming from the position you come from within that whole matrix and company. But I'm really excited, even more excited, to have everybody hear from you today and your story, because I personally know a good chunk of it. I don't think I know it all, but you have such a story of, becoming,
Mm.
and the work that it takes, the faith that it takes, the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited to turn you loose and just say, inspire us and empower us. And I've got my notepad right here, because when Jareesha speaks, I write. So I encourage you all to get yours out as well. Jareesha, take it away.
Absolutely. So I just, as it's been mentioned, is I am all about on this mission to empower others for growth and success. As a mom of four, as a wife, as a woman, that is truly what I feel like I am called to do, is empower others for growth and success, because I believe that we're all created for greatness. So most of us don't realize or haven't even recognized our full potential. And when we tap into that, when we tap into all that we have inside of us, we open the door for us to be, do, and have everything that we want in our life. And let me tell you this, it's only when we recognize who we are, whose we are, and what we're capable of, and then do the work, that is when we start to see the transformation in our lives. So, as I've said, we are all on this journey. I want to share with you today my journey of being a single mom raising four kids. Now, I will tell you that this journey is one that I'm still on, but I am now married and very happy to be on a whole new journey. But as a single mom, and being a single mom for years, I have been through divorce, uncertainty. I have been through hurt, feeling betrayed and being betrayed. I've been talked about. I've been rejected. And I'm sure so many of us can say that we've experienced all of those things. Many of us may be still experiencing many of those things as well. But one thing I will tell you is that with each of those experiences and growth, we can become stronger. And that is exactly what I did. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about, is that becoming, as Pamela mentioned. I took the steps. I used, and I'm going to share some of those steps with you today, but I started building. I use each one of the steps. So I'm going to refer to steps and the stairs that we all have in our houses and everything else, we're going to utilize those. So I use each one of those steps to help me level up. And let me truly paint the picture so that you can really understand where I was. Again, I mentioned I was a single mom. I was broken. I've been through divorce. I was confused. I was really trying to figure out my why and what I wanted to do with my life. And you know how circumstances happen and life happens. I knew, though, all along that there was something inside of me. And I'm sure that you right now know there is something inside of you. I just had to start working. I had to start working on me so I could nurture and grow. So I started building these steps that I referred to. I realized a long time ago that it was going to be kinds of steps. You can become great at that thing you're willing to sacrifice for. You can only become great, that is, at that thing that you're willing to sacrifice for. So I recognized a long time ago that I had greatness within me, but I knew I had to take steps in order to live in my greatness, in order to accomplish the things that I wanted. So I was ready. I was ready to become great and build my way. And if I'm going to be honest, I was all about building, but we know that with building, there are going to be some obstacles along the way. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. But you see, no matter where your stairs are, as I refer to, those stairs are designed to help you move from one level to the next. So as you think about walking up those stairs, you have to take it one step at a time, no matter where you are. You start at the bottom of those stairs. So you're starting at the bottom of the stairs on your journey until you move to the next step. And we always have the option to move backwards. And some of us get knocked down a couple of steps. But when you use the pain and the lessons that you've gone through to keep building and moving up those stairs, you start understanding how to handle life, how to handle the hurt and pain. You keep growing, you grow through it. And I believe, honestly, that no one ever reaches the top. Because when you reach a level that you feel like you may be stuck on, that means it's time to start building the next level, building the next step, and so on and so forth. So for me, building started with me completing my undergrad. And as I shared, I was a single mom. I had my first child at 19. I was a single mom and I needed to go back and finish my degree. So my first step started with building myself in order to put myself through getting my undergrad. And like I said, it was a challenge. It was such a challenge. After I was told I couldn't and I wouldn't because of being a single mom, then I said, you know what? I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to keep moving because there's no other option. So from that point, the next step was going on to grad school and finishing grad school after going through divorce and still being a single mom. I was determined to finish, and I finished with my MBA. And then it was time to level up again. And so, again, going up those steps and not saying that I didn't get knocked down a couple, but I was determined to keep pushing forward. So the next step was I launched my own business. And I was at a place where I had to figure everything out along the way. And let me just say this, when we get to that point, when we just don't know where to go or what's the next step, that's when we have people we can lean on. And for me, it was in the form of getting a coach and a mentor that helped me along the way. Here's what I'm going to tell you. When it comes down to successful people, they understand that if you're not the expert in the particular area, you have the resources to find someone to help you. And that's exactly what I did. I learned to invest in myself and my business. And investing until I was able to become a certified coach and executive director with the John Maxwell team. And it didn't stop there because I knew my passion and purpose was helping others grow and succeed. And so I had an opportunity to create that platform, which is the EV radio station platform, to help others share their message with over 170 countries around the world, to empower others for growth and success. So I started bringing out the greatness in myself first. And then I started helping and empowering others. I'm telling you, you have to just keep building and keep moving. You just keep moving, keep building. Yes, there are going to be setbacks. Yes, there's going to be obstacles. And you keep growing through it and keep going. It's when we stay stagnant and comfortable that we lose our way. If I didn't recognize the greatness that was within me, and let me just say this, and let me be clear, because I made a decision a long time ago to not just recognize and begin to develop my own greatness, but to surround myself with those who share the same goals and was on building as well. And so in those times when I struggled to see my own greatness, they were there to cheer me on and empower me. That is why it's so important for me to be able to empower others. And often we don't recognize our own greatness because we're so quick to look around at everyone else and see their greatness. Here's what I want to tell you right now, and please listen and hear me good. You have greatness within you, and I am pleading with you to develop it, unleash it, and ignite it. Once you do, you will understand that very thing that you've been searching for, that you already had it within you. Many of us just don't realize or know it. So that
Mhm.
starting place for your greatness is desire. The desire to succeed, to serve others, to empower, and to keep going on no matter what, because there is no other option. You see, I had that burning desire within me to be, do, and have what I wanted, and I created that plan, and I started, and I believe you can do it as well. As a matter of fact, I want you today to decree and declare right now and say this: it's my time to shine. I am ready to go to the next level. I am
Mhm.
committed to maintaining unwavering faith that I will be, do, and have what I want in life because I am created for greatness. And I will continue putting in extraordinary effort until I do, no matter what, because there is no other option. Absolutely. That is what I want to share with each and every one of you. Know that you have greatness within you already. I believe it, and you just have to believe it.
Wow. No other option. That's a drop the mic moment, right? Boom. Drop the mic. No other option.
Absolutely.
No other option, but there's greatness in you.
That's
Period.
right.
And you just got to pull it out. You got to develop it. So many times we have the wrong understanding, Jareesha, of who we are, right? But how others see us, we think others see us in a lower state or a less than state. But when we look at each other, we often see the things within the other person that the other person isn't seeing. So you're saying you're looking across the camera at so many and telling them you have greatness in you, and there's no other option but to pull it out. That to me is a challenging statement, and a good, not a challenge and like you want to fight, but in a challenge of develop that in you. And you talk from experience. So in all of my 3 pages of notes that I took in just your talking for a few minutes, because you're always loaded, lady. You just got so much stuff that comes out of you. It's amazing. Is I put this down: in order to grow stronger, you have to keep building. That that is huge. And you said start where you need to go, and you talked about the steps, right?
Mhm.
But you were talking about, yeah, you could go back down, you could stop, but these steps in life are taking you where? They're
Right.
taking you up, and they're meant to make you stronger as you go. And you talk from experience because you know, you had all these different things going on in your life, but you continued to level up, as you put it, step up, step up, step up to the place where you are at today. But I have maybe two. We might get a third one in. We'll see how it goes. But you talked about, you know, EB radio, which I am a huge fan of and utilize it for my own podcast and radio shows, as well as a lot of times it's just playing in the background as I'm listening to music and your show and other shows that are on your radio. I heard you say on a live last night that you never anticipated that your business, your independent business as an entrepreneur, would take you into media. And I didn't know that about you. I sort of figured that maybe through your business training, that was just something you gleaned, and that eventually you had hoped to go there. So would you just unpack that a little for us? How did you end up landing in an area that you never saw yourself doing it?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. What I want to share is that, again, as you mentioned, I never, I can't say that when I was younger, I had a desire to go into media, radio, or anything like that. It was one of those things I always said, oh, I would love to have a podcast, but I had no idea where the fact that my purpose was going to take me. So I'm a firm believer and very spiritual. So I'm a firm believer that, with purpose, you never know what doors God is going to open for you. And we have to just be willing to walk through with faith. And so that was one of the ways and one of the reasons why I feel like the opportunity for EB Radio came. It was through the connection. So me being a part of the John Maxwell team, I was connected to someone who shared the opportunity. And it was one of those things I was like, okay, how you see something, because the opportunity was shared just in a way like, oh, it was put out there for anyone for the taking. And so I was like, okay, it sounds like a great idea. And I just kind of left it where it was, didn't think anything else about it. And then it kept like, coming back. And you know how that happens. Anything that you're supposed to be doing, it's not going to just, pop up into your life and then just leave. So it kept coming back. And I'm like, well, maybe I should, reach out and find out more details. Well, I did that. I reached out and found out more details. And even then I was like, oh, this is great information. Let me kind of sit on it and then kind of go from there. Well, again, it still kept, just egging at me like, you know what, you really need to move forward with this. And, I'm a praying woman as well. And so after praying about it, I was like, okay, let me, reconnect. Let me connect again, have that conversation. And so I did. I had that conversation and jumped in at a point where, I was not certain about any of it. But I will tell you, I was surrounded by some great media mentors. I was surrounded by some amazing experts who said, let me show you the way. And again, I just had to say yes to the opportunity. So I did. And I'm not going to tell you I didn't say yes and then try to backpedal because I did. I tried to backpedal real quick and that fear came in. But I had to keep pushing forward because I truly felt that, like, deep down, it was taking me outside of my comfort zone. And so I am a firm believer that we need to be as far out of our comfort zone as possible. And so I got through it. I jumped and built my wings on the way down. It was a process. It was a learning process. But I'll tell you, it was so worth it because I didn't recognize, I had no idea that being connected to the John Maxwell team would have blossomed into what has happened with EB Radio. So yes, if it wasn't for my connection with or being a part of the John Maxwell team, I would never have EB Radio today. And it has definitely been a process. It's been a growing process, but I'll tell you, it's been such a blessing to not just myself, but so many others around the world. And I'm just like in awe sometimes because I'm like, you just don't understand the power, the power not is that's just within us, but the power that God has. And when it comes down to your purpose and how he can work in you, even if you may not have the skills or have what you think you need, he will use you. And that's exactly what happened. I felt like I was truly just used as a vessel, as an avenue to be able to help others share their message around the world. And I just, it's such a blessing. It really is. It's such a blessing. No one could have told me years, 5 years ago that I would have been in media and radio. No one could have, I would have been like, there's no way. There's no way. But, here I am, and I wouldn't change one day, 1 minute. I wouldn't change any of it. It has truly just been a blessing. Absolutely. And again, it's aligned with my purpose, which is to empower others for growth and success. So here I am, and I'm loving it. I really am.
Oh, that is so awesome how that all evolved and so organically, and you're right. It totally aligns with your purpose. So we have to take, so to say, God out of the box, and the sky is no longer the limit. And the way the compass leads us is the way we go. And I always say that heaven will be our compass as long as we keep our hands off. And then that compass directs us in the way we need to go. And here, a huge part of you empowering and serving and helping others and finding their purpose and walking it out would be through radio and media. I mean, who knew, right? But that's awesome. One more question that I have for you. You have mentioned a couple of times about connecting and the power of connecting with others. I think that is huge because I connected with you, and then was able to connect you with other people, and you've been able to connect me with others. Here we are today doing this. There is such power in that connecting and not being an island unto ourselves, and not just trying to do it alone, and not connecting for the purpose of upscaling ourselves, but the connection to be able to empower one another and build together. So, especially with your John Maxwell background, what have you learned and what could you impart to us today about the importance of connecting with other people above that know more and those that you're training up? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I definitely think that's a really great question. And, just the whole fact of connecting, as I've shared through my story, I wouldn't even be in the position and where I am. And I really attribute my success to the fact that I am connected to some amazing people. So for me, connection has been very instrumental over the years. Even from, thinking back to my, being a single mom days, with staying connected and connecting with those who could help me level up, from it, whether it's a coach or mentor. And even now being a part of the John Maxwell team, those connections have just been so important. I know that it's one of those things like, oh, we know we need to network, we need to connect. But hear me, hear me good. It is so important for us to be connecting. I think it's very important from a day-to-day basis, not just with those that's going to help us level up, but also those that we can then reach down and help pull up and say, you know what, I'm learning, I'm empowering others. Let me grab on to someone else to help them through the process as well. And for me, going back to my journey as a single mom, that has been a huge passion of mine is, when I meet people, and I'm always wanting to meet new people, connect with them, and I've met tons of single moms and had conversations. I'm always happy to one, connect them with someone else or provide a resource. I'm very resourceful. So I'm always, like, oh, let me see how I can help you with this or really help you empower, feel empowered with this. So when it comes down to connecting, I would tell each and every one of you that you just never know what's going to come out of being connected to someone. I definitely think that it's not just about leveling up, but also how you can empower someone else and help them, through your story, your journey, and all of that as well. So it's extremely important for us to connect and not forget, once we get to a certain level, how it is important to reach down and continue connecting as well.
Wow. The power of paying it forward, right?
That's right.
That's it. The
That's
power of
right.
paying it forward. Well, this has been so good. Thank you so much for bringing your empowerment hour here today. and speaking such truth and life into us, and giving us some points on some road signs, like this and this, or checkpoints, whatever you want to call it, because they're so helpful. And is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we finish out our time together today?
Absolutely. I just wanted to share a couple of things of, what's upcoming, because as I've mentioned, I'm always really wanting to align myself with, anything that is really going to speak to my purpose and empowering others for growth and success. And so there's some really big things coming up for not just Empower on Purpose, but also EB Radio and some of the media partnerships. So I just want to tell everyone to stay tuned to more details to be shared. As far as with my own business, I am going to be launching a Boss Moves mentorship program that'll be coming as well. And I'm just, really excited. I get really, fired up about empowering others. So, I just wanted to share that with everyone. There's a lot of good things coming in the future.
And if they want to stay connected with you, is it easiest to do on Facebook or go to your website? How should our audience stay connected to Jareesha?
Absolutely. So they can actually just go to my website, www.empoweronpurpose.com, and connect with me through there. I am on Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media platforms at Jareesha Moore. But the best way to really stay connected is going through my website. And then also, EB Radio website is www.envisionbroadcasting.com.
And we have all of that listed for you, audience, so you can take full advantage of that. And there will be a little end cap at the end of the show, as you all know, and that'll have that information on it as well. Well, again, Jareesha, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to see what's coming around the corner, because everything you do is amazing and empowering. So I'm going to be watching, as we all will, and then we'll have you back again, and you can share it all with us and give us the download. How does that sound?
Sounds amazing. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and thank you everybody for tuning in today. And I would like to ask you to do us a huge favor. Would you please share this incredible episode with others? Would you share Exposure Network, and you can even just share the link that is right below. If you're watching this right now, there's a link that you can share, and you can post it on social media, or you can send it to somebody in an email. I always send them to my father-in-law, who's 92 years young, and he loves to watch them because he's been an entrepreneur his whole life. So he really enjoys all of these different episodes. So the more that we spread empowering messages like this, the faster we change the world. So if you would do that, I would be so grateful. I am so grateful and thankful. And thank you for tuning in today. And remember, at the Pamela Show, we will always learn and grow together. Thanks for coming. Bye. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Jareesha just brought it home today. I hope that you enjoyed and learned a lot and have taken away the power of connection and of not giving up. Your story matters. Your voice matters. Now remember, you have a purpose by design, not by default. Go on out there and keep being the salt and the light everywhere you go.